So many people being hit hard by the government shutdown, but perhaps the hardest hit are those furloughed workers who aren't getting paid.
Yeah, their paychecks aren't coming in. They're on hold, but the bills, they keep coming in. And one of those workers is reporter Elizabeth Bogert. She joins us now from Washington. Hi, Elizabeth. Good to see you. You know, I know you've been hit hard by this shutdown. But I really love your creative solutions here. You've come up with some creative ways to cope, like the good old-fashioned couponing, right? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. My friends actually told me about it. And so one thing that I've been doing is clipping out and keeping in mind that when I go to the grocery store and I make a meal, that I can actually turn it into something else and not have the boring leftover scenario. So that's been one big, huge tip from them that's really saved quite a bit.
Yeah, people forget about coupons. We used to do it when I was young. It is the best way to save money, no matter what the circumstance. But I also want to ask you this, Elizabeth. You did something extraordinary. A lot of people don't think about calling their creditors, but you did. You got results. Tell us what happened.
I did, actually. Well, because I freaked out. I'm not used to not paying my mortgage or my car payment on time. And I have to say, making that initial step to call them to say, you know, I can pay you X amount. It's very, very important. You want to make sure that you're keeping your credit, you know, it's much intact as it can be at this moment. Honda was actually willing to work with me and said that they would they would give me a 30-day extension, and they would just tack that onto the life of the loan, you know, of course with interest, but that's a huge relief.
No kidding. Any little relief helps, I'm sure. And Ryan, you talked a little bit about how companies are lending a helping hand. You know, you just made a good point. You said this is the first time you've ever experienced something like this. You're not used to not being able to pay your mortgage.
No.
So this is the first time you're treading into these waters. What are your biggest concerns here?
That I'm going to lose everything that I've spent 13 years trying to get. That's my biggest fear. But my friends keep telling me, you know, Beth, you're a go-getter, and I think that all of us, you know, we're going to have to do what we have to do, and if I have to take a second job in the meantime, you know, then I'm certainly going to do that. So.
You know, as often as we can, Elizabeth, we like to ask people who come and join us to tell us what they're going through, to talk to our audience about what they want politicians to hear. What would you want politicians to hear if they're watching this right now, hearing your words?
I just want to go back to work. I want to be able to continue with the pride that I had in my government and my agency and my president and you as lawmakers. And I was proud to be part of that institution. So please allow me to do my job.
And, you know, I understand you've worked for the government, what is it, 13 years? And you've worked loyally for 13 years. We thank you for that. And, Elizabeth, we wish you all the best. Stay in touch with us and let us know how you're doing. You're handling it really well so far.
Thank you very much.
You take care, okay?
Thanks, you too.